Born in the heart of ancient Macedonia, a land of rugged mountains and fierce warriors, Alexander the Great was destined for greatness. His story, a tapestry woven with threads of ambition, conquest and tragedy, continues to captivate the world over 2,000 years later. From the moment of his birth, whispers of his future echoed through the halls of Pella, the Macedonian capital. It was said that on the very day Alexander was born, the Temple of Artemis burned. This, some believed, was a sign that Alexander was destined to set the world ablaze. Alexander's life was a whirlwind of adventure and conquest. He carved his name across the ancient world, leaving an indelible mark on the course of history. His legend, however, was not built solely on the battlefield. Alexander was a visionary leader, a brilliant tactician, and a student of philosophy. He dreamed of a world united under the banner of Hellenic culture, a world where knowledge and enlightenment would prevail. Alexander's father, King Philip II of Macedon, recognized his son's potential early on. Determined to provide him with the finest education, Philip summoned the renowned philosopher Aristotle to be Alexander's tutor. Under Aristotle's guidance, the young prince immersed himself in the world of philosophy, literature and the sciences. Aristotle instilled in Alexander a deep love of learning, a thirst for knowledge that would shape his worldview and guide his actions. From Aristotle, Alexander learned the art of rhetoric, the power of logic, and the importance of observation. He developed a keen mind, capable of grasping complex concepts and formulating cunning strategies. Aristotle also introduced Alexander to the works of Homer, particularly the Iliad, which ignited within the young prince a fascination with the heroic figures of Greek mythology. These stories would fuel Alexander's ambition and inspire him to emulate the legendary deeds of Achilles and other heroes of old. At the age of 20, Alexander's life took a dramatic turn. King Philip was assassinated, leaving the throne of Macedon to his young son. Many, both within Macedon and among its enemies, saw this as an opportunity to challenge the newly crowned king. Alexander, however, quickly proved himself to be a force to be reckoned with. He ruthlessly crushed rebellions within his own kingdom, securing his hold on power. With his kingdom secured, Alexander turned his attention eastward towards the Persian Empire. The Persians, under the rule of Darius III, had long been a thorn in the side of the Greeks. Alexander saw an opportunity not only to avenge past Persian aggressions, but also to fulfill his father's ambition of conquering the vast Persian Empire. Gathering his forces, Alexander prepared to embark on a campaign that would change the course of history. In 334 BC, Alexander led his army across the Hellespont, the narrow strait separating Europe from Asia. This marked the beginning of his legendary campaign against the Persian Empire. Alexander's army, though outnumbered, was a well-trained and highly motivated force. They were led by experienced generals and equipped with superior weaponry, including the famed Macedonian phalanx. Alexander himself, a charismatic and inspiring leader, rode at the head of his troops, urging them forward with promises of glory and riches. Alexander's first major victory came at the Battle of Granicus River, where he decisively defeated the Persian forces. This victory sent shockwaves through the Persian Empire and established Alexander as a formidable military commander. He continued his advance southward, liberating Greek cities along the Ionian coast that had been under Persian rule for generations. The people of these cities welcomed Alexander as a liberator, hailing him as a hero. Alexander's conquest of Egypt was swift and decisive. The Egyptians, weary of Persian rule, offered little resistance to Alexander's forces. In fact, they welcomed him as a liberator. Alexander, in turn, showed respect for Egyptian culture and traditions. He visited the oracle of Amun at Siwa Oasis, where he was proclaimed the son of Amun, a title that further solidified his authority in the eyes of the Egyptian people. It was in Egypt that Alexander founded the city that would bear his name, Alexandria. Strategically located on the Mediterranean coast, Alexandria was designed to be a major center of trade and commerce. Alexander envisioned a city that would blend the best of Greek and Egyptian culture, a beacon of knowledge and enlightenment for the entire world. Alexandria would go on to become one of the most important cities in the ancient world, a center of learning and culture that would flourish for centuries. With Persia conquered, Alexander's thirst for conquest was far from satisfied. He turned his gaze eastward towards the exotic and mysterious lands of India. In 326 BC, Alexander's army crossed the Indus River, entering a land unlike any they had encountered before. They faced fierce resistance from Indian rulers, including the formidable King Porus, whom Alexander defeated at the Battle of the Hydaspes. The battle was one of Alexander's hardest-fought victories, and he was deeply impressed by the courage and skill of Porus and his soldiers. Despite their victories, Alexander's army was nearing exhaustion. Years of constant campaigning in unfamiliar and often hostile territory had taken their toll. The Battle of the Hydaspes had been particularly costly, and Alexander's men, weary of battle and longing for home, began to voice their desire to return to Macedon. Recognizing the limits of his army's endurance, and perhaps sensing the vastness of the lands that still lay unconquered before him, Alexander reluctantly agreed to turn back. Alexander's return journey was fraught with peril. The army faced scorching deserts, treacherous mountain passes, and hostile tribes. Many men succumbed to exhaustion, disease, and the attacks of their enemies. Alexander himself was seriously wounded during a siege in India, a testament to the dangers he faced alongside his troops. Despite the hardships, Alexander never lost sight of his goals. He continued to forge alliances, establish new cities, and solidify his control over his vast empire. After years of campaigning, Alexander and his weary army finally reached the city of Babylon in 323 BC. Rather than rest on his laurels, Alexander immediately began planning new expeditions. He dreamed of conquering Arabia and circumnavigating Africa, further expanding his already vast empire. However, fate, it seemed, had other plans. In June of 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander the Great fell ill and died in Babylon. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery, with theories ranging from malaria to typhoid fever to poisoning. Alexander's empire, vast and powerful though it was, did not long survive his death. It was divided amongst his generals, the Diadochi, who fought amongst themselves for control. Yet, Alexander's impact on history extended far beyond the political boundaries of his short-lived empire. He had opened up the east to the west, forging new trade routes and facilitating cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. Alexander's conquests helped to spread Greek language, culture, and ideas throughout the ancient world. This era, known as the Hellenistic period, saw the flourishing of Greek art, philosophy, and science in new and vibrant centers of learning, such as Alexandria in Egypt and Pergamon in Asia Minor. Alexander's legacy is a complex and multifaceted one. He was a brilliant military strategist, a visionary leader, and a ruthless conqueror. His actions changed the course of history, shaping the political and cultural landscape of the ancient world. Alexander the Great's story continues to fascinate and inspire us today. He remains a subject of endless debate and discussion. His life and legacy a testament to the enduring power of ambition, the allure of conquest, and the complexities of human nature. Was he a visionary leader who brought civilization to the world, or a ruthless conqueror driven by an insatiable thirst for power? The answer perhaps lies somewhere in between. Alexander's story is a reminder that even the greatest of empires are fleeting, but the impact of a single life, driven by ambition and guided by vision, can echo through the ages. His legacy, like the man himself, remains a source of endless fascination, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to dream, to strive, and to leave an